Life can be unpredictable. It throws curveballs when we least expect it. I remember a time when I felt lost and afraid. I had lost my job, my car had broken down, and I was facing eviction. Everything seemed to be falling apart. It felt like the world was crashing down around me. The future seemed bleak and uncertain. During those dark days, it was hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Doubts crept into my mind, whispering that maybe things would never get better. I felt alone and forgotten. The weight of my problems seemed unbearable. It was during that time of despair that I turned to my faith. I remembered the words of the Bible, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Jeremiah 29:11. These words, though familiar, struck me with renewed force. Could it be true? Could there be a plan, even in the midst of my chaos? Could there be hope, even when everything felt hopeless? I decided to cling to this promise, to put my trust in a power greater than myself. Trusting that God is in control doesn't mean that life will suddenly become easy. It doesn't mean that our problems will magically disappear. What it does mean is that we can face our challenges with a sense of peace and purpose. It means knowing that we are not alone in our struggles. When we surrender our worries and anxieties to God, we open ourselves up to a peace that surpasses all understanding. We can find comfort in knowing that even when we don't understand what's happening, God does. He sees the bigger picture and He is working everything together for our good. Faith, even the smallest amount, can move mountains. This tiny mustard seed, though seemingly insignificant, holds within it the potential to grow into something magnificent. Just like a tiny mustard seed grows into a mighty tree, our faith, when nurtured and cared for, can expand beyond our wildest dreams. Our faith, though small at times, can be the catalyst for profound transformation. It may start as a mere whisper in our hearts, but with time and perseverance, it can become a powerful force. This small seed, when planted in fertile soil and given the right conditions, has the potential to create incredible change in our lives. Similarly, our faith, when rooted in trust and belief, can lead to extraordinary outcomes. It starts with a simple belief, a spark of hope that ignites within us. This belief, no matter how small, can grow and flourish if we nurture it with love and trust. A trust in God's goodness and His plan for us is essential. When we place our faith in His hands, we open ourselves up to the boundless possibilities that He has in store for us. Remember the story of David and Goliath? It's a timeless tale that illustrates the power of faith. David was just a young shepherd boy tending to his flock with innocence and humility. He was not a warrior, nor did he possess great strength. Facing a giant of a warrior, David seemed outmatched in every way. The odds were stacked against him, and yet he did not waver. But David's faith in God was so strong that he went into battle without fear. His confidence was not in his own abilities, but in the power of God. He knew that with God on his side, victory was certain. This unwavering faith gave him the courage to face the giant head-on, knowing that with God on his side, victory was certain. And just like David, we too can overcome our giants. Our challenges may seem insurmountable, but with faith, we can conquer them. We too can overcome our giants when we trust in God's power. Our faith can move mountains, break barriers, and lead us to triumph over adversity. When we trust in God's power, we find strength in unity and victory through collective faith. Together, we can achieve the impossible, inspired by the mustard seed of faith that grows within each of us. Stepping out in faith. Trusting in God requires action. It's about taking that first step, even when we can't see the whole staircase. It's about saying yes to God's plan, even when it scares us. It's about letting go of our need to control everything and allowing God to lead us. Think about the disciples who left everything behind to follow Jesus. They didn't have all the answers, but they trusted in Jesus' call, and in following Him, their lives were forever changed. They witnessed miracles, they shared His message of hope, and they became pillars of the early church. The power of letting go. One of the hardest but most liberating things we can do is to surrender our will to God's will. This act of surrender is not a sign of weakness, but rather a profound strength. It requires us to trust in something greater than ourselves, to believe that there is a divine plan at work, even when we cannot see it. It means letting go of our own plans, our own timelines, and our own understanding of how things should be. Often, we hold on to our plans so tightly, believing that we know what is best for us. But in reality, our vision is limited. We can only see a small part of the bigger picture. It's about trusting that God's ways are higher than our ways, and His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. This trust is not always easy to cultivate. It requires faith, patience, and a willingness to let go of our need for control. But when we do, we find a peace that surpasses all understanding. When we let go of the reins, when we stop trying to control everything, we open ourselves up to God's perfect will for our lives. We begin to see that His plans for us are far greater than anything we could have imagined. We start to experience the freedom that comes from knowing we are not alone in our journey. We allow Him to work in ways we could never imagine. The beauty of surrender is that it opens the door to possibilities we never thought possible. It allows us to witness miracles and blessings that we would have missed if we had been holding on too tightly to our own plans. We free ourselves from the burden of carrying our worries and fears alone. Letting go means we no longer have to bear the weight of the world on our shoulders. We can release our anxieties and trust that everything will work out for our good. This act of letting go is a powerful step towards inner peace and true freedom. When things don't go as planned. Life is full of unexpected twists and turns. There will be times when things don't go our way, when our plans fall apart, and our prayers seem to go unanswered. It's during these difficult times that our faith is tested the most. But even in the midst of disappointment and pain, we can choose to hold on to our faith. We can choose to believe that God is still in control, even when it doesn't feel like it. We can choose to trust that He has a plan, even when we can't see it. Finding strength in adversity. Our struggles, as challenging as they may be, have the power to shape us into stronger, more resilient individuals. They can refine our character, deepen our faith, and draw us closer to God. It's often through our greatest trials that we discover our greatest strengths. Think about the story of Joseph. He was sold into slavery by his own brothers, falsely accused and imprisoned. Yet, through it all, Joseph remained faithful to God. And in God's perfect timing, Joseph was elevated to a position of power, where he was able to save his family and countless others from famine. The unwavering love of God. No matter what we're going through, no matter what mistakes we've made, God's love for us never changes. He is always there for us, ready to forgive, to heal, and to guide us back to His loving embrace. His love is unconditional, unwavering, and ever-present. Just like the father in the parable of the prodigal son, God is always waiting for us to return to Him. He rejoices when we turn back to Him, and He welcomes us with open arms, no matter how far we've strayed. Embrace the journey. Life is a journey, and like any journey, it will have its ups and downs. There will be smooth roads and bumpy roads, mountaintop experiences and valley experiences, but through it all we can choose to embrace the journey, knowing that God is with us every step of the way. Let go of the need to have all the answers. Embrace the unknown, trust in God's plan, and enjoy the ride. There will be lessons to be learned, experiences to be cherished, and memories to be made along the way. Trust and live fully. When we trust that God is in control, we free ourselves to live with joy, peace, and purpose. This trust allows us to release the burdens that weigh us down, the anxieties that keep us awake at night, and the fears that paralyze us. It's a profound shift in perspective, one that transforms our daily experiences and interactions. We can stop worrying about the future, let go of the past, and live fully in the present moment. Imagine the freedom that comes with this mindset. No longer are we shackled by regrets or apprehensions. Instead, we are present, fully engaged in the here and now, savoring each moment as it comes. We can embrace all that life has to offer, knowing that God is walking with us every step of the way. This companionship provides a sense of security and comfort, a reminder that we are never alone. Whether we are facing challenges or celebrating victories, His presence is a constant source of strength and encouragement. So, my friend, I encourage you to let go of your fears, your doubts, and your need to control. These are the barriers that prevent us from experiencing true freedom and joy. By releasing them, we open ourselves up to new possibilities and opportunities that we might have otherwise missed. Trust in God's plan for your life. Embrace the journey. Every step you take, every decision you make, is part of a greater plan. Even when the path seems uncertain or difficult, trust that there is a purpose behind it all. This trust will guide you through the darkest of times and illuminate the brightest of days. And watch as he does amazing things in and through you. Your life becomes a testament to his love and power. The more you trust, the more you will see his hand at work in your life, orchestrating events and encounters that lead to growth and fulfillment. Now, if this message resonated with you, hit that like button, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe to my channel for more inspiring content. Your support helps spread this message of hope and faith to a wider audience, creating a ripple effect of positivity and encouragement. Let's spread a message of hope, faith, and trust in God's unwavering love. Together, we can create a community that uplifts and inspires, reminding each other of the beauty and power of living a life rooted in trust and faith.